welcome back to my homestead. Today we're again in the kitchen. Why? Because of these guys. Look at these gigantic baseball bats. Zucchini are overgrowing and they're growing so fast. So the little ones are perfect for eating every day, sauteing them, putting them in a soup or stew. But these big ones are perfect to make relish. And that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be making zucchini relish and we're going to store it for the winter months. Again, my motto is what? When in abundance today, store away for tomorrow. So let me show you my recipe for zucchini relish because there are so many other recipes, but mine is slightly different than what you may expect. So let's take a look. Okay, so let me show you the ingredients we're going to be needing. We're going to be needing zucchinis because star of the show today, and I'm going to need 12 cups of zucchini. Now, I don't know how many cups I've got here because I'm going to be cutting and removing the seeds from here because they're so overripe and giving those seeds to my chickens that will enjoy it. Then I'm going to need about 4 cups of onion. And again, I say the word about because this is not baking, so it's okay if it's a little less, a little more than 4 cups. Then I'm going to be putting just 1 bell pepper, and I have this beautiful yellow bell pepper. Now, if I had more, I probably would have put 2 bell peppers, but I don't have any, so I only got 1. And like I said, this is not baking. It's okay, it's not going to mess up the recipe. Then I'm going to be needing salt, and I'm going to use 5 tablespoons of salt because when everything is shredded, it's going to be mixed with salt and left to draw out the extra liquid. All right, what else? We're going to be needing black crushed pepper, and I have 1.5 teaspoons. I'm going to need 1.5 teaspoons of turmeric, 1.5 teaspoons of mustard. Now, most recipes say to use mustard seed. I don't have any mustard seed, so I'm going to improvise and I'm going to use mustard powder, and I'm going to use 1.5 teaspoons. Then we're going to be needing sugar, and most recipes call for ton of sugar. I'm using only 4 cups of sugar, and I think that's going to be enough for me. Everything will be topped off with vinegar, and I don't have it poured in here, but I'm gonna need 2.5 cups of vinegar, and I like to mix half apple cider vinegar and half white vinegar. So that's my recipe. So let me start by cutting and shredding these gigantic baseball bats. Okay, so we have shredded all of the vegetables, and we have zucchini shredded, 12 cups, 4 cups of onion, and I'm about to cry because it's right in front of my face, and I have only 1 yellow pepper, but if you have couple, it's even better. If you have red, it's going to be cute to have little red specks, but you know what? My husband loves this relish so much. It's one of his favorite condiments on the side, so even if there are red specks or not, he's gonna love it. So at this point, I'm gonna be putting 5 tablespoons of salt into the vegetables mixture because 2, 3, 4, 5. If I don't count, I'm gonna mess up. So at this point, look, the juice is already coming out. I'm gonna be mixing everything together. And a lot of relish recipes will tell you that you have to mix it all up and put it in the fridge overnight, let that, the draining happening, or listen, I don't have time. Who has the time? I don't have that much time. So So what I am going to do is I have some chores to take care of. I have dinner to cook for my family. So I'm just gonna let it sit for a couple of hours, and I'll come back to it and I will see how much juice has come out of these vegetables. And if I feel that a lot of juice have come out, then I'm gonna go ahead and start processing this relish. Because yes, you can leave it overnight in the refrigerator, you know, and you let this drain, because remember osmosis, kids, chemistry class, basic chemistry, water follows the salt. So because we put salt in here, it's going to withdraw a lot of liquid from these vegetables. Okay, it's already super soupy. Look at that. Oh my goodness. All right, I'm just going to throw a towel over that, and I'm going to let this bad boy sit on my counter for a couple of hours and see what happens. Okay, zucchinis and onion and bell pepper release so much liquid. Look at this, it's so soupy. Goodness gracious. And it's been sitting for about maybe 2.5 hours. That's it. At this point, I think it's enough. It released a lot of juice. I've been corrected. Osmosis is not a chemical reaction, it's a biological reaction. Okay, so I'm going to strain this into my big strainer here. Look at this, and hopefully I will not make a big splash of a big mess, because it tends to do that. Alrighty. And all this liquid is running. Alright, so I'm going to strain all of this, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to put the rest of my ingredients together in about a minute. Okay, so all the liquid got strained, and at this point I'm going to be putting all of my ingredients in here, and I have 4 cups of sugar. I have 1.5 teaspoons of black pepper. I'm going to put 1.5 teaspoons, so this is 1/2 teaspoon. And a whole teaspoon of turmeric. I'm going to be putting 1.5 teaspoons of dried mustard. Okay, and everything will be topped off with vinegar. And I have 2 vinegars I'm going to be using here today. I'm going to be using apple cider vinegar, and I'm going to be using white vinegar. And total, it calls for 2.5 cups. So I'm going to put 1.25 cups of white. And I am eyeballing about right. And I'm going to be putting apple cider vinegar also 1.25 cups, making total of 2.5 cups. I'm going to bring everything to a boil, and once it comes to a boil, I'm going to boil it for 10 minutes, and I'm going to be jarring everything. So I'll meet you back after it cooks for 10 minutes. Okay, so 10 minutes of cooking time passed, and the relish got much thicker, and my whole kitchen filled with the aroma of pickles, or at least smells like pickles. Okay, so these are my washed and sterilized jars, and I'm going to be filling them up with about head space of 1/2 inch. And then I'm going to process them in the water bath for about 10 minutes. So let me take a look. Aren't they beautiful? Alright, I'm just going to fill them up quickly now. So here is our beautiful zucchini relish. I really like this color. It has this mustard almost color to it. And we already tasted it. It's sweet, it's spicy, it's salty. It's absolutely perfect to go on any hot dog, hamburger, in a potato salad, on the side of any kind of other dinner. So I know my husband loves it, and I just gave him a little bit of a taste, and he said, I need more. So anyway, so guys, I hope you try this recipe. Stay encouraged because there are things to do with zucchinis. So try something new.